Hey everybody, welcome to another craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time, and hit that bell icon because that will alert you to when I post a new video. Today I'm so excited to teach you guys all about Waterslide decals. For this project you only need a couple of things. You just need some Waterslide paper. I will have this linked below. This is the clear version, but there is also a white version. I will link both below for you. You'll need some sort of clear spray. This is glitter clear spray by Rust-Oleum, but you can use the polyacrylic clear spray. Krylon makes a really nice clear spray, but this is just what I had. It works really well. And then something to put your decal on. The nice thing is with this works on ceramic, crystal, glass, wood, just about anything that you can think of. This is actually what I like to call my epoxy fail mug. The epoxy I did on this came out terrible. It's very bumpy. But I used it to show you because I wanted you guys to see that you can apply these beautiful decals, and hopefully you guys can see this, to these mugs, and then the glitter shows through them, which is really nice when you use the clear kind. So let's go over to the computer so I can show you guys how to print these out. So like I said, we're going to skip using Design Space for this, A, because we don't really need to, and B, the print and cut hasn't really been working. So what I did was I just got this cute watercolor kitten picture, and what we're going to do is print this onto Waterslide paper so that I can show you guys how to use Waterslide. So go ahead and click print, and I will tell you, if you're going to do Waterslide, try to find something that doesn't have a background to it. So even if it's just a white background, that's fine. This is way too big. I don't need them that big. You can resize them. We'll just do them like kind of small. And all you're going to do is make sure you have your correct printer chosen, paper size, auto. Some printers you do need to change your type of paper to. So you've got plain paper, photo paper, plus glossy, envelope. I just leave mine on plain paper and it's absolutely 100% fine. So we'll go over to the printer so you guys can see it print. There's two kinds of Waterslide paper. There's clear and white. Make sure that if you purchase them that you do keep them separated because they look exactly the same. When you're putting it into your printer, and I don't know how well you guys can see this on the page, like on the screen, but this side's super dull and it feels like paper, and then this side is smooth and it's a little bit shiny. So just make sure that you're putting it in the correct direction. And so you're just going to put it right into your printer. Now I've already used this one once, just to, my printer was giving me some trouble. So make sure you put that in the correct way, and then we'll just tell it to print. And with any luck, it will print just fine. You do need to let the ink on it dry for just a minute or two when you're doing this. So the first picture that I printed, like I said, that was just a tester, just to make sure that my printer would actually physically take the paper, and it did. So then here is your cat. Now you will want to test it. Like I said, I did this one on the photo glossy paper and I don't like it. It kind of got some weird lines in it. But this one came out really, really nice, and it is nice and clear. So let's go ahead and we're going to let the ink dry for a minute, and then I'll show you guys how to seal it. I've cut around our decal. Again, I didn't use print and cut, and on something like this I really don't need to because it's going to be clear anyways. But I just leave a little bit of a border just because of the kitties. If you look, it's got some kind of fuzzy stuff. So what we're going to do is use a clear spray. Now this is a glitter clear sealer, but it'll work just fine on this. But you do want to go ahead and make sure you seal these. I do anywhere from 3 to 5 coats. But because we have to do this inside because it is not warm, I just took an old Amazon box and cut the little edges off of it. And we're going to go ahead and use that. So all you want to do is just give it a light spray, and then you're going to let that dry for a few minutes, and you'll just come back and continually light spray it just a couple of times, and once it's all completely dry, we'll be able to put it in the water, and I'll show you guys how we can apply it. What we have now is a bowl of water, and I would say it's about lukewarm, so it's nothing too crazy. So what you do, and this is why it's called Waterslide, you take your decal, which has been sealed with your clear spray, and I'm going to place mine face down, and you just want to place it so it's all the way in the water. It is going to curl up, but don't worry. You can always uncurl it if you prefer, but it doesn't matter if it curls up, but you want to give it soak for just a minute or two. And sometimes not even that long. A lot of times it just sort of depends on how big your decal is. So we're going to let that soak for a moment. And you can always check if your decal's ready just by kind of pressing it, but it's not ready yet. And I'll show you how it's going to be when it's all ready. But what I'm going to use to put it on right now is just this glitter mug. I don't know if you guys can see, it is glittered. This was an epoxy fail, but I wanted to use this so that you guys could see that it does show some of the glitter through, even though this is super dull, because I'm going to just go ahead and probably epoxy this onto this just for a tester, just to see if I like it and see how it works. So I don't know if you guys can totally tell, but you can see some of your decal through the back of your, like the backing on this. It's not ready yet. So we're going to just keep going a little bit more. You just want to make sure the whole thing is submerged in the water. And the edges are usually a little bit tough to get, so just keep kind of pushing it down in there. And what's going to happen is once you are ready to do the decal off, the backing will slide off, and you'll see here in just a moment, once it is ready, that the backing is just going to slide, which is why they call it water slide. You use water, it slides. Really creative, I know. And you can test it while it's in the water too, and just see if you're getting any movement. And I can see I'm getting a little bit on the one side, so we'll keep soaking because I do see that it's starting to slide a little bit. So we'll just soak a little bit longer. There is no exact time, honestly. I've done several, and a lot of times it just depends on how large your decal is, as well as the water temp. There's no exact science to it. You just kind of have to play around with it, and it should, with any luck, takes just a few moments and then it should slide off. So we are getting some movement. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I can get this to slide. If it's really difficult to slide it, it's not ready yet. This was sliding for a second and now it's not, so I think we're not quite there. I'm seeing I'm getting a little bit of issue like right here along these edges. So what you can do is you can put them in the water, and you just want to just make sure that that water is penetrating them. And a lot of times I've gotten this problem because sometimes the sealant will get around the edge of your decal, so you just kind of want to encourage the water to get under there. So you can just pull it and see if you can get it to come off. It is coming off in other spots, it's just not that one spot I need it to. So let me just keep messing with it. And sometimes you just have to kind of coax it off. Like this one is sliding a little bit better now. So let me give it another moment or two in there. Like I said, I have yet to find an exact science to this. And as to like how long it takes, let me grab a rag real quick so we can wipe off some of the water off of our table. This, for anyone wondering, because I've had a couple people ask, this is an IKEA tabletop and it's fantastic. I love this thing. It works super, super well for what I do, so I really like it. It's super bright, easy to work with, so I really, really like it. So now let's see if we can get the kitty cat to slide. Now we're moving. Okay. Let's see if we can get this last little corner to shimmy a little bit. And I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this. Let me soak that for just another moment and I will be right back. Okay, so we're ready to slide it. So like I said, I'm going to put it on this cup, and I hope you guys can see this. So what we're going to do is take our decal, and I will say I do typically, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I lay a towel down just so this doesn't slide around, and ignore the messiness. This is just an old rag. It's an actual t-shirt, but it works really well. So what we're going to do is take our decal, whatever you've made, and in this case I've made a kitty cat, and we're going to just start sliding it a little bit off of the paper. You're just going to get it to release it just a smidge. So now you can see how it's coming off the paper. And what we're going to do is line it up on our cup or whatever surface you're putting this on. These are really, oops, and try not to do that. These are really, really pretty on just about every surface. So we're going to go ahead, and what you're going to do now is hold on to the decal and slide the paper off. Now the nice thing is you can reposition this, and you just want to make sure, just like when you do vinyl, that you are getting any of the bubbles out of it. So you want it nice and smooth. And you can just use your finger to smooth it down. You don't want to use like a squeegee or anything on this because you don't want to run the risk of ripping it. Ah, see, I ripped her ear. That's okay. We'll put her back in. That was my fault. I was totally not paying attention to what I was doing. But that's okay. We'll just stick it back on. It'll be fine. So you just want to work out any of the wrinkles or the bubbles that you have on your decal. She's not totally straight. Actually, she's pretty gosh darn straight. Especially around the edges. You just want to go around your edges. I did rip her ear. That was my fault. I did it with my nail earlier, and I was afraid that it did rip all the way through, and it did. So that's kind of a bummer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Waterslide paper, get it out of the way, and I'm just going to dab it with the towel just to dry it off a little bit. Nothing crazy. Do not rub it. And I don't know, I'm hoping you guys can see, but look at how pretty that is. And again, the glitter is kind of dull. I'm going to turn a bright light on, and then I'm going to hold my camera with my hands so that you guys can hopefully see this a little bit better. Here is the finished cup. Now I'm hoping, again, this glitter is a little bit dull because I did sand it, but I'm hoping you guys can see the glitter under our clear water slide. I'm really excited to get another set of epoxy on this. Like I said, this cup was totally a fail. I'll show you guys why. This handle, when I went to finish curing it, we got a lot of extra epoxy right here, and then it also had an epoxy drip on the handle, which I sanded down best I could, but it's super bumpy. I'm really not happy with how it came out. This was more a cup spinner fail than anything, but I think once I get the second set of epoxy on it, and actually this would be the third layer of epoxy, it might look slightly better, but this is never going to be like a cup I would do anything with other than to show it for a little example. But look at how gorgeous that is. This is why Waterslide is one of the coolest products, in my opinion, that you can use, and I think it's really fun to work with. The possibilities really on this are endless. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time. If you guys want previews of my upcoming videos, go to my Instagram page and follow. It is just Corinne_Blackstone Crafts. Either way, linked below. So go ahead and click on that and follow me, because I give you guys a quick little hint as to what tutorials are coming up. Have a great day and happy crafting.